Oh. Classic. You know what? Listen, these are the fun things that we do when we go live here. We just have, every time we go live, it's like the first time we've ever gone live. And that's part of the fun here. We like to,
we keep it fresh.
We like to have fun here, Hello, welcome to episode 19.
Wow.
Of Roll4Drama.
That's a lot.
Okay.
And, okay. We're like, listen, we always think that I thought this morning, like, oh, I'm so prepared for everything. I wasn't. It's fine. I forgot to update the PowerPoint, and then I was like, oh shit. So anyway, it's updated and it's all good. And I added a few new types of shows like I said I was going to. I actually remembered to do it.
Nice.
So we've added 9 Woo to the roster today, so we might get them. Who knows? We got a lot of fun going on, and this is Roll4Drama. If you've randomly clicked this video and you're like, what the hell is this? Let me tell you. So this is our 19th episode of a live stream series we do monthly, where we use dice to help us come up with the best K-drama that's never existed. This is based on an old TikTok series called Roll for Sandwich that Adventures in Ardia did back during, that we were watching during the lockdowns. That was very fun, where he would make cursed sandwiches.
I love how you're like an anonymous silhouette situation.
What is happening? Okay, let me, I swear to God, every time I
doesn't want big drama to come for her.
Yes. There we go. There we go. I needed to move my light. Like, it was where it always is, and it said, "No, I'm not
it's adjusting down again. It keeps on going like."
Listen. It's
technology.
I'm too bright for this world. Is what's that? Okay.
Yes, you are.
Keep going. There. I literally have a light shining directly on my face, and I still look like I'm like shrouded in shadow. Anyway, you know what? Like, these things happen. So we're here. We have fun. We make a drama. Y'all help us, like the live people who show up at the live chat. We have a good time. I've got my dice set up down here over to the side that we'll cut to when we need to roll for things. It's a good time. But usually we just do a little bit of preamble so that we tell people they should come. So, like, how's everyone been? Doing good? Everyone doing good?
Yeah. It's spring.
It's like
it's snowing for Amanda, but it's spring.
Things are happening here that we put the ticker on. There we go.
Well, if you're wanting to talk about things happening,
no, like weather-wise,
I win that as far as locationally.
Canada might have an election. Well, is going to have an election in the next month, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Not looking good for the Conservatives. Oh no. Poilievre's the least popular he's ever been. Oh, you hate to see it. You love to see it.
Indeed. My daughter is so disappointed in her generation because the number of people her age who are out in the world talking about how we're under a dictatorship now because none of us voted for this man. And I'm like, that's
listen, you're fundamentally misunderstanding how the parliamentary system works, but that's okay. You know what? They're young and dumb. It's fine. They'll get it eventually. And that's exactly why there's an election happening in like a month.
So, also yesterday was the start of Trans Rights Readathon. So that's
hell yeah.
For people who are into doing that and supporting it. Just so you know, it doesn't have to be like, it can be trans authors or it can be like a main character as well. So like if you happen to know a book that at least has a character in it. But as far as like, I really tried when I was filling my docket, like I was trying to hit both because I had already loaded up like all over the year because I look for that type of thing anyway. So I've totally stacked my stuff way too high, but that's fine.
You've gotten a little ambitious with your.
But I mean, part of the
reading
reason
plans.
was already just posting that stuff. A couple people responded. People I don't know responded, and they're like, "Oh, like we seem to have similar tastes, and I hadn't heard about like half these books, and I just bought some. Thank you so much." So like that's really part like getting the word out there. Like, hey, I support some of these people. Go check them out. Like that type of thing. So, but it's fun.
I always love to give a little plug for Light from Uncommon Stars.
Yes.
By Raika Aoki, because that's my favorite of everything, not just of trans. Like that's just a great.
You just like it, yeah.
I just love that book.
I got nothing. I got nothing going on in my life, so.
But listen, I've got like 4 weeks left of school, and then I've got 2 work placements I got to do, but then I'm done.
Hell yeah,
but
brother.
Like. I have lost I have no juice. I don't care. I'm like looking at my courses, my last 4 courses going,
okay,
I've got 51% in this. Do I need to turn in that last assignment? I'll put something together, I guess.
We believe in you. You can do it. Okay, like we believe.
I've lost all will to study. It's gone.
Well, we're here. I think we've meandered enough. Let's do like a little recap of last month's Roll4Drama, which was very exciting last month.
It was.
We had a very exciting Roll4Drama. It was a fantasy zombie historical mellow, starring Hanjimin and Sansuku, but also actually starring Ji-sung and what's his face? Devil's Judge. That's lovers. Basically, we had a lot of court politics. It was a saga. Hanjimin.
It was a weekender, 40 episodes.
A 40 episode weekender. It had birth secrets. Hanjimin was like the daughter of a shaman, and then like Sansuku was like the illegitimate son of the king. The king's uncle. Oh, it was so exciting. It was very exciting.
Yay for Sansuku finally getting to the main role.
Yeah. Ji-sung was the villain who was gay. It was good. Listen, it was very fun. It was a good time.
And of course, we had ability to see ghosts because we always have ability.
We always get ability to see ghosts. I don't know why our dice, and I use like different dice. Like it's not like, oh, it's the same dice, so it must be weighted, so you always get I feel like
if you shifted everything on the card number-wise, it would still come up.
I meant to do that this week, but I 100% was so busy this week that I just like did not remember.
Oh, and there were zombies.
Yes, there were zombies. Yes, there were zombies. But they weren't like real, like traditional zombies. It was just like a medical thing, and the king was turning into. It was a whole thing. It was really fun. If you haven't watched it, you should go watch that episode. It's on our channel. You can find it. But this week we don't know what we're gonna be doing this week because that's the nature of what we do here. I have taken suggestions from last time. I have added 2 new types of show options. We have an 8-episode streaming service, so prestige television style.
Oh, okay.
And then I've added a movie option. So we're really expanding what we're doing here. So let us find out what kind of drama we're making today. Hello, welcome to the Vertical Drama Enjoy. Lucy! Hey, hello, you're here literally. Excuse me. My bad. Here just in time. We need a D8, correct? A D8? I have one of those.
Yes.
A D8. D8! I have a D8. Here we go. It's a D8. Do. Okay. Let us find out what type of show we're making today. 4. We're making a 12 episode show.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. That's the sweet spot.
Nice. That's a good, that's a nice situation.
That's when they cut it off before they decide they have to introduce something nonsensical.
Yeah, like
Keep it running for 4 more episodes.
Show. That's right. Oh, we like a good 12 episode. That's like the perfect show length, to be honest. Let's find out. Let's find out what's set. See, the fun part about this is that the setting, we do it before we do the genre, because sometimes it really tries to throw us a little curveball. So, okay, so here we go. We got the D12. Let's go, baby. Oh yeah, 10. Let's see. What are we doing? Oh, a military police procedural situation.
Okay.
All right. We haven't done one of these in a while.
No. Feels like
okay. All right, now we find out what type of police military show we do be making. Let's get going. We got to do it twice. So we got our old friend, the D20. Okay.
19.
19.
Do you know what 19 means?
So
lesbian cops. Wasn't the last time we did cops lesbian cops too?
I feel like it. I'll have to go back and look later.
Listen, also you should check out our Petrichor episode. That Sky and
yes,
I think
shout out to Petrichor.
If you're into lesbian cops, you'll enjoy that. Okay, so we have to do 2 more rolls. Okay.
You got your wish, Lucy.
Listen, Lucy. Lesbian
forthcoming.
Yeah, Lucy, what do you want now? Like lesbian cop military. Okay, we got 2. Okay, and oh shit!
What did it land on?
It's like,
oh no!
Just 2.
Jesus, everything went wrong. Everything went wrong.
The dice were like 2. I said 2, and I meant 2. Just 2. And then you're like, calm down.
Okay.
Calm down.
My headphones flew off. The dice.
Yearns for freedom.
Okay. Woo, okay, 2. Okay, let's just try that again. I'm gonna put my hand right here so it doesn't fly off again. Okay. 2. We already know.
No, for reals, 2.
For real. 15. 2 and 15. Oh my goodness. Okay, 2. Medical.
Medical.
All right.
A medical historian.
Okay.
Kind of like what we did last month. Like
kind of.
No, like a.
But now we got to do it different. We got to do it different this time. It has to be about lesbians
this time.
Yeah.
We didn't have
lesbian. Oh, wait. Okay. We go military instead of cop. You have cross-dressing opportunities. I was recently.
You kind of have to go cross-dressing because women were not allowed in military and like cop type stuff.
I was recently rereading the incredible Terry Pratchett story, Monstrous Regiment, which, hey Katie, which basically is, it's like because it's like a fantasy story, but it's like about this woman who's going to find her brother. So she dresses like a man and joins the military because she's in like a military dictatorship, but then very quickly finds out that everyone in her regiment is a woman dressed as a man for various reasons. Yeah, it's such a good book. I'm feeling like maybe that vibe.
Yeah.
What we get up to.
And you can bring the medical in with like kind of the
one could be like a doctor or something.
Well, you always get the women are like with the herbs and the midwives and stuff like that, right? But like the guys don't know anything about that. But these are women who are pretending to be men, so like they've got concepts.
This is fun. We got some fun.
You don't even really need to. I mean, you could make one of the leads like medically, or you could just kind of make one of the main problems a medical problem, like plague or something. Like
But you know what? I think the dice will show us the way. Okay, the dice will show us the way. Okay. Let me just readjust. Let's get.
So I assume we're rolling this twice.
Yes,
we do not need we don't need no man.
We don't need, listen, we may eventually need a male character for something, but right now
somebody's got to be the evil king or whatever, right?
Our 2 leads, we're going some ladies. Okay, we have
11
and 13.
13.
All right, who is gonna be in love? 11. Chaesu Bin. Okay.
Ooh.
Actually, I do not hate this pairing.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Y'all just chat amongst yourselves. Let me.
Aren't they like the perfect? Aren't they like
they're
the same
like
age?
exactly the same age. I think like almost exactly the same age. Let me just very quickly pull this up here.
And man, I saw Moon Ka-young, like just a clip of her when she was young. The other like
Photoshop.
she's just been in the business for a long time. Yeah. She's been busy.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Chaesu Bin. If you don't know Chaesu Bin, she was I'm Not a Robot.
I'm Not a Robot, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And a lot of other stuff, but like that's one that a lot of people have seen.
It's Frozen. It's Frozen. Come on.
Nice.
Yeah, classic. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're doing it. We're back.
Peripheral men. Yes, the peripheral men.
Exactly. Okay. Chat.
She can be either in on the gender foolery or fall in love with a beautiful man.
Yeah.
There are peripheral men. She's so pretty. Yes.
They're both
so pretty.
They're both
right?
So pretty.
Like
you know what? It actually brings up there has not been enough historical cross-dressing of late. There really hasn't.
Yeah.
No, I take that back. Actually, there needs to be more, but the shoot, what was it? I'll have to go look up the title because I can't think of it. The one that I really liked last year. I can't think of the name. Captivating the King. There was cross-dressing. Like, she was cross-dressing a big chunk of it. But usually there's only one person cross-dressing. There should be.
Yeah. I
multiple.
Like
might as well. Like, if
many.
you're doing that, you might as well.
Right?
Also, I would appreciate a reverse situation. So, like, let's say there might be an instance of X amount of women cross-dressing, and then you gotta get some guys cross-dressing too, like vice versa type stuff. Some of that.
I'm just thinking of what was that one show?
I was gonna say, is it Noctu Flower?
Yeah. That he pretended to be. Well, he is like a very pretty man. So like
very.
I get.
I like the idea of these like.
Oh, Irene, thank you. We are pretty. Look at us.
I like the idea of them being like, like that reverse, like bi panic situation where it's like, oh no, this man likes me, but like he doesn't, he must be struggling, and then they both finding out that they're girls and being like, oh, that's a completely different struggle I did not think was happening in this situation. Like, whoops.
It is
so Lucy says, imagine where both the leads are and they are both fooled by each other.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right. So they both think they're falling for a dude, but like concerned for the dude that he's falling for a dude, and then they're like, I like it.
Yeah, like the reveal to each other, it's not like it happens episode 1. Like it has to be at least a little delayed.
A little in.
Not super late. Like
no, like
that's a shame. Like like the Coffee Prince reveal was a little late.
You know what? Coffee Prince wise, I'd have been a little pissed too. You know what I mean?
Like it was a little late on that show.
Like I feel like she should have fessed up a little sooner instead of letting him go through an entire like gay awakening and then self-acceptance only to find out, oh, you got.
Like if you're doing that, you got to pull a bromance. You have to reveal at least halfway.
Yeah.
Also, sorry for us spoiling a like 16-year-old show.
With bromance, sorry, it's really obvious.
Yeah, sorry. You know what though? I will say bromance is one of the few where I'm like, yeah, that could be a dude.
Oh yeah, she pulls it off really well.
Like she, that could be like kind of a feminine dude. Okay, finally Photoshop is like working. Okay, I'm coming. We're not usually this slow.
So I'm gonna review since Irene popped in. So what we rolled so far is a 12 episode which is pretty normal. And then the thing that we rolled was military or police setting. Like that was the setting. But then we rolled GL, which we were happy about.
Hell
and
yeah,
then
brother.
we rolled medical and historical.
Hell yeah, brother.
And then we rolled Chae Soo-bin and Moon Ka-young, which she is currently working on pictures.
We're coming. There we go. Okay, we got them down here. We know who we're dealing with. Let me get rid of all of last month's because they're gonna confuse me. I'm gonna accidentally shit. See, I just told you. I'm gonna accidentally click it. Okay. Classic. Okay. So we can just
historical clown. Why are we being a clown, Irene? Why are we clowning?
We're not clowning. We're gonna make
no. Irene said clown.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we roll for we talked about having a male character who is also cross-dressed. Should we roll for who that is?
All right, let's do it. Come on, Nine Woo. Come on, Nine Woo. I just added him.
Please be a dude we can believe in this role.
Yeah. We need someone. Or it could be that could be the clown aspect just for Irene, where it's everyone's yes, that's a
type
woman.
Situation where the lady is bearded and you're just what are we looking at here?
15.
Not Nine Woo, but
Park
Seo-joon. You know what?
Okay.
You know what?
Bad.
You know what? That's one. I could. Maybe.
Depending on the set, the type of costuming, the type of women role, it would depend.
If he could be one that always wears a veil. That could be a fun, situation.
Or we just accept the fact that we can.
Or we just accept the fact that he's just kind of.
He's a little buff for it.
Yeah, he's he's a little bit. Listen,
maybe he wears padding. He's being a middle-aged woman. He's right. So
or he could be a muscle mommy. It's it's okay.
Especially if we're doing military, it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, muscle mommy Park Seo-joon. Sure.
Farmer muscle mommy works.
Yeah.
Commoner muscle mommy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we may have to work a little harder to figure out why he's. He didn't want to be a woman.
Military enlistment or something, so he faked being a woman.
Well, not just
and winds up being in the kitchen crew for the military or something. Or
well, he had to stay behind to take care of his baby sibling.
Yeah. Not just
stay.
He's too afraid, but there were reasons why he didn't.
Or he has to hold the whole village. Hold the whole village together still. There's really nobody left, so he can't leave the village behind.
This is a very curious.
They're so tiny.
Yeah, they're so little. I tried to make them so they weren't covering up much. So, but you could see them. We know who we're dealing with here. Okay, I think we can take the text out, so they'll be a little clearer. Okay. Yeah, maybe. I don't think he would look like a particularly young woman if he were dressed as a woman. But the dice have decided. Okay, the dice have decided. We now have to roll for some tropes. We get 3 of these bad boys. So let's find out what we have to work into our incredible story here. Okay. Dice. Be cool, man. 7. 5. 17. I swear to God, if one of these can see ghosts. Okay.
Enemies
to lovers. Okay. And then noble idiocy. Ooh, okay. You know what? We got some spicy meatballs happening here. Like these are
there's such a comedic possibility for amnesia when you're doing cross-dressing, where you wake up like with no memory, and they're like calling you by a woman's name, and
you're like, maybe
what? Like,
maybe I am. We could go a new angle on him pretending to be a woman. Okay? One that's like less plausible, like visually, but could be more plausible plot-wise. What if he was actually like who they're protecting, and they have to disguise him as a woman to like get him, like he could be like the prince or something, and there could be like assassins.
The thing is, there can be a secondary character that's an idol, that's like full-time woman cross-dressing, and then he's like a royal or something. And in order for protection, they dress him as a woman.
They dress him as a woman,
a couple of episodes, or for a journey, or something.
Or something to like escape from something. Like so these two cross-dressing ladies, because they're cross-dressing, come up with the great idea to cross-dress him to get him out of a sticky situation, but they're only good at
masculine cross-dressing, so they have to go to their buddy.
So they have to go to their gender fluid friend. Now, listen, there is one obvious choice for who an idol.
There's a lot of obvious choices.
There's a lot of obvious choices, but there's a big old school obvious choice for gender fluid idol who could help someone pull. Like Amanda knows who I'm talking about.
Maybe
Joe Kwan, right? We love.
Do they want to act?
I don't listen. For Roll4Drama, doesn't matter if they want to act. But like they're a real classic, and I feel like a fun character or decoy. Like a fun character could be like, what if this gender whoever we decide, and I'm not saying it needs to be Joe Kwan, is like a sex worker, right? Works in one of the old, my mind is totally blank at what courtesans are called, but you know what I mean. Like works in one of like the little
the places where they have the tea.
Yeah, where they have the tea and they play the food. And so like and this is like one of the special big draws of this one is like the beautiful voiced, woman who's not really a woman. That's true. He does.
It could be, and you could have a scene where you have all the Jamies together, just because.
Yeah, like that's musicals.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
True. True. So what? There's acting for you.
So I don't know if we're all cool with that suggestion.
I'm cool with it.
I'm happy with it. Yeah.
Okay.
I am feeling like this show is not hyper serious.
No.
Or it's like rookie historian levels of serious. You get like 3/4.
I feel like it's
light,
the lighter
and then you have a quarter
side
that is kind of serious. Like
yeah.
The danger is real. The danger is always real when you're in a historical. Like,
well, I mean, if we're doing medical, there's a plague or an illness or something that they have to deal with. That's not funny, or whatever, right?
Right, like,
medical. I forgot about medical.
Well, the medical thing, like I said, you can really fulfill the medical thing by like one of the issues to overcome is really, hey, there's a plague with these like 3 villages and we got to go help them, because that's like a military thing to go do too. Like, go do something like that. And it can kind of be this troop of cross-dressing ladies. Like, they have to go do all this military stuff, and it's not really like problem of the week, because you'd probably want it to span like a couple weeks.
Well, but it's only 12 episodes, so
like you'd have to. I think that's the way you could fulfill medical, because we just did medical last week too.
One of the things too could be like if they're trying to transport him across the country or whatever, so you're stopping in these different villages, and you could kind of have sort of like, maybe it wouldn't be of the week, but you've got different medical issues, but like make them medical issues that are women's medical issues that often get overlooked. But because these are women, they see things that maybe wouldn't get seen, and they're like going to the, you know, prince who's cross-dressed or whatever, and they're like, there's a problem over here, and he's like, it looks fine to me, and they're like, no, we're telling you as men who, you know manly things,
pretty much getting women access to various, so not just medical things, but getting women access to various care of like protection, like not medical protection, but like in an abuse situation, like they would interact with women on a different way than like a typical military dude would, because they will see what the actual issue is rather than like just like diffusing the situation.
Yeah.
Are we perhaps saying, I don't know if this was said when I was distracted making something, that maybe one of them, like, you know, either one of the ladies is like a court doctor cross-dressed, and then one is like the bodyguard who's also cross-dressed. And so then that's easier to bring in the medical stuff, like, you know, because if you were if you were on the run, like traveling, you would bring like royalty would bring like a personal physician along with them, right?
That's true.
That just makes sense.
Unless, I mean, that could be Park Seo-joon could be the medical person that they're trying to get somewhere to do something too.
True, but I think that the female palace nurses only really worked with the women, like the court women, right? Like that would have been, they wouldn't have allowed them to be around.
Yeah, but like as far as how she got her start in medical stuff, like she could have started as a palace nurse,
but then due to an incident or something, gets ousted.
So Lucy said, we have amnesia involved, so someone is getting hurt at some point. True.
Yeah. Listen, you know, but you know what? We gotta also do cliches, because we can't forget, you know, the real classics. So we gotta put in some dumb nonsense for us to do. Okay. 17 right here. Okay. 17, 4, and 1. Ooh, a 1. Okay, let's find out what nonsense we're about to be up
one. That's the pancake kiss.
Pancake kiss.
It works really well in something with cross-dressing and you know, because the surprised, wide-eyed, oh my goodness, what am I doing right now?
No, that easy. That's
also
easy.
if you were in a situation and you had to have like a guy and a gal kiss on screen, that's definitely a pancake kiss.
That's
like
the pancake kiss.
Yeah. If there was a situational, like we have to pretend for a second, like that type of pancake kiss just to get out of that situation. Yeah. Okay, 17, 4, and 1.
Okay, go. We got back hugs. Listen, they're really giving us easy shit. 17 locked in obviously not a fridge or an elevator, but
so
definitely
it has to be a room.
Yeah, locked in a room. Listen, I feel like the dice are being very kind. Oops, wrong one. Very kind to us. Kinder than they normally.
The noble idiocy thing is.
Well, listen, we just don't like noble idiocy. It's not that's being unkind. It's just it's not one of our favorite tropes. You know.
I feel the dice said, "Listen, we know it's Korea. You're going to have enough trouble with the lesbian stuff right off the bat. So we're giving you the softballs for the rest of it." Like.
So 17.
Someone
gonna be given. Lucy the rot is real, but also that does track in one of these. Lucy and I are.
I'm
big
so
fans.
Confused.
A comment.
Have to do with that.
Okay. 17 was the locked in a room. Okay, I will explain what happened because I know exactly where Lucy's mind went. Lucy and I watch a lot of really terrible Chinese vertical dramas. And a big plot on one of those that happens more than you would think is someone gets like roofied, okay? And then like, or two people. It's usually both of them. For some reason, a lot of aphrodisiac drugging happens. And then they accidentally enter the wrong hotel room. Okay, and then it's like they have sex together, very chastely filmed sex scene,
I was about to say, like, how does that go?
Pancake kiss,
Chinese vertical.
No, like, don't like it. quick kisses, but it really does like a nice, like, it'll go out of focus and like fade to black, or it'll like, the camera will move and zoom on like an abandoned piece of clothing on the floor. All the classic tricks. So I see exactly where her mind went with this. And another thing is that like after in these where people will get married, it's usually like a grandma is like, I gotta get a grandkid. So, and they're usually in like a contract marriage at this point. So she'll like lock them in the bedroom after having fed them aphrodisiacs to be like, all right, now do it. And I'm like, okay, grandma, you're a little too concerned about your kid's sex life. Like, chill out. But these are very common tropes. So I understand where Lucy went, where the mind, I understood the path that led to that. But we don't have to do that. Back to what we're doing here.
We need to focus.
we gotta focus.
So, with our lead ladies here, who is like, what are their roles?
I really could
because Irene, mentioned like someone could have started as like a palace nurse, like in the past, but then for some machination,
I could really see Moon Ka-young as like the bodyguard military.
I agree.
More than Cha Soo-bin, because she's sort of more like meek. She plays really good like meeker characters. Cha Soo-bin does. So that would be like, I feel like she could be more of the medical person.
Yes.
Yeah. What if she was like a palace nurse, and maybe the cross-dressing initially was like similar to what we were suggesting for Park Seo-joon, like where it's to get out of a situation. Like there's some guy in the palace who has interest in her that she is trying to shut up.
Unsavory.
And she winds up somehow, okay, you and you, let's go. And they're taking off, and now she's like, well, heck.
She wasn't trying to volunteer.
She wasn't intentionally cross-dressing. She was just like accidentally cross-dressing, but oops, now I'm a dude.
Yeah.
Title suggestion.
Oops, now I'm a dude.
That would be what the manhwa what this would be called. Like, accidentally cross-dressed. It would be an isekai. Accidentally cross-dressed in the historical world.
And now I'm a palace guard.
Now I'm a palace. Now I'm a lesbian palace doctor? Question mark. I like this. I love what we've come up with so far. We're so much quicker than normal at coming up with an absolute banger. And this is like sort of
so one thing is enemies to lovers.
Oh, enemies.
Listed, but that does not mean it has to be these ladies.
That's
true.
It
could be anybody else. It doesn't have to be them.
I'm looking.
But enemies to lovers is actually really easy because it doesn't actually have to be enemies. It really can be like, you kind of annoy me. Like that fulfills enemies to lovers.
I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to do this visually correctly. Enemies to lovers. Looking down. I'm trying to look down.
Yeah.
I was trying to. Wait. Am I where? I don't know where to look, and I can't see myself to see if I'm looking at the correct place. Could be from a rival. Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Or there's always like, you have all these princes, you have a bazillion princes, and then the king gets all like, he likes the princes, but then suddenly he doesn't because he feels all threatened, or he doesn't like a few of them because he feels all threatened by them, and so Seo-joon can easily be one of the princes that is like kind of exiled and not supposed to be around anything, but I'm sure he feels pretty useless because he's like exiled somewhere, not really doing much. So when there's all these things that these ladies are off having to go fix, like the plague or whatever other situations, Seo-joon's character could be like trying to just go do something. So in order to do that, they have to secret him away.
So I was just thinking about when you were saying this, like the plot of Queen Wu is that the king dies, and then she has to go find an acceptable one of his brothers to take over before everyone finds out that he died, because there's like an evil brother who is technically should have been next in line, but the king picked the second brother instead. So like this could be like a similar, like the king's about to die, And Park Seo-joon's who he's chosen to be his successor.
So
but he's not the popular. So, but all the other princes are like, we got to get rid of this guy. Hence why they're now on a cross-dressing journey to get him to,
get him to the king.
Yeah.
Before, yeah.
Like that could be a possible reason, impetus reason for them to take off. And and that would make sense.
And to be bringing in what we sort of were talking about before about Chae Soo-bin's character getting sort of picked and go. Yeah. The reason why it's a quick, we got to get going. Because it takes, 3 weeks to get to the palace and the king is dying. We got to try and get there before,
We do love a little bit of court intrigue. Yes, we do.
That's why, even though it's probably generally kind of a light show, I'm really thinking Rookie Historian level.
Yeah.
Because there still was level, there was court intrigue. There was still the king's still killing people. It's still happening. But even if you're kind of light a lot of the time.
Yeah, but you still get the comedic muscle mommy Park Seo-joon in the worst, cross-dressing you've ever seen. Yeah. So that no one figures out who they are. You know what I mean? It's still a good time. But there's still some, murders happening. And we don't have to deal with ghosts this time, so we can just have fun with it. No ghosts. No ghosts. Woo! Listen, we actually do love dramas with ghosts, but we've been getting a lot of ghosts.
I want to say it's over half that we have to have
we've had to friggin' put ghosts in this. I think one of the few that we didn't was the Chupacabra one. that was one of the few that, for some reason, didn't have ghosts. Because our last cop one had ghosts. It was the prison one that was also lesbian. So, ghosts. The dice love ghosts.
I do like the idea of Park Seo-joon and Jo Kwon being the enemies to lovers, because just the bickering of Jo Kwon's character trying to make him into an acceptable woman, and him being it's good enough, and him being no, it's not. Don't disrespect
my craft, my art that I I am the world's best. You're doing this to me.
Dude, you gotta walk different. No, I don't want to. That's too bad. You gotta do it.
Yeah. He's kicking him in the back of the knee so that he'll do something that makes it look more feminine, or
Lucy, accurate. It would be.
Yes.
I love everything that's we've been having a good run of these.
So what's the locked in the room thing?
Locked in a room. Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, there's many ways we could take this, because locked in a room could also just what happens a lot in these historical ones, a false imprisonment situation, or a jailbreak type. They've always got the torture with the little wooden sticks on the legs that I never quite understood, but
it always looks painful.
It looks painful, but I don't really understand how it's that pain. I get why it's painful, but I'm I feel there's more efficient torture methods, just personally, but you know what, whatever.
It feels like a good opportunity for the reveal. So say if Moon Ka-young got stabbed or an arrow or something like that, but now they're trapped in a space, and Chae Soo-bin is I have to heal you, I have to take care of your wounds, and she's no you don't, and she's yeah you do, and then it's oh wow, but because they're trapped in the room or the space, it has to be now. It has to be me.
So that's the gender reveal thing?
Yeah. And so then that's because that's usually a good gender reveal situation. You have to,
when someone's
gonna die, right?
It would actually kind of be interesting to me as just a potential viewer of this fake drama if Park Seo-joon actually knew that Moon Ka-young was a woman, but maybe they had been he knew her since they were kids or something. And so he's actually
they've been buddies for forever.
Yeah, and so she could be the daughter of another soldier or something who died saving his life or something. And so she was trained, as a fighter. And so he was like, well, we're like best friends. Nothing romantic ever, but like we've been friends since we were kids. So like he is part of her cross-dressing secret. You know what I mean?
Because he trusts her, right?
Yeah.
He wants her as the head of his guard because he knows her secret. And so he feels like he can trust her because they have
the mutual
on each other, but also because they're tight, like they're friends.
Exactly. Who would be a more loyal companion? Exactly, Lucy. And like then you can also add in like, you know, some fun tragic backstory stuff. Right?
Fun tragic backstory.
You know, like the dad saved, you know, like she helped the dad, like sort of like you know, Don Bluth Anastasia, where he helps her escape from the
right
the terror and whatever.
Yeah.
Don Bluth,
and then you get a great moment where like Chae Soo-bin in this locked room has discovered Moon Ga-young's like secret, but she doesn't know that anybody else knows, and then Park Seo-joon like comes and gets them out of the locked room, and she's like trying to hide her, and she's like, no, it's fine, he knows.
Yeah,
like,
he's
seen this before. It's not a big deal. like we're good.
We're good. I think that's like a fun
and then there's kind of an additional look of like, does he also know that you like ladies? And then it's
right?
like, yeah, he knows that too.
Yeah, it's like, no, we both like ladies.
And then you get like,
because you know,
Kwan's character comes in like behind him and is like doing the really faked shock because you were not fooling me at all.
Yeah. What would actually kind of be funny is if like instead of her being like one of those stoic bodyguards, that it's more like they're bros bodyguards. So they're going to like, the reason that she knows Jo Kwon's character is that they've been going to the brothel together. They've been hanging out with the ladies together, having a good time, carousing with the local women of the night. I think that's actually an incredibly funny and works more for a comedic K-drama sort of thing, where they're like, yeah, man, like we have scenes of them both like, you know, like sprawled out, like with the women playing the zitars or what are they called? You know what I'm talking about.
The
little harp things, and like being served tea with the two of them, like, haha, like having like a really fun, raucous time together, which I think would be a much funnier thing than just being like, he's a carouser who now has to pretend to be a woman, and she was his stoic pretending to be a man bodyguard. Like, no, they were both just fucking playboy, like, you know, flirts all over the
now
town.
They were often, you know, but nowhere,
exactly.
right? And it like, whatever, nobody cares what we do. And now suddenly it's like, oh, and we have to like actually do the thing now.
But it's like the reason he's been chosen, he's sort of been like exiled to the outskirts because he was so far down, you know, the list of whatever. But all the other princes all are like, have been scheming and doing bad, evil things. So the king's like, I can't leave like all of these scheming princes useless. I need to bring in my one non-scheming prince to take over.
Do we want to pick kind of like the rival prince that is like the baddie?
Ooh, the main rival. Yes. Shall we roll for a rival?
Should we roll?
I like the idea too that like maybe some of the king's advisors are cool with the Park Seo-joon choice because they figure they can control him.
Yeah.
Too, right? Because he's been just kind of like lackadaisical. They're like, these other guys are scheming and we can't control them, but we could control this guy. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, of course you'll have that like scene in the final episode where he's like, nah, you don't control me.
Either that or he dies. You know? Listen, I do like a good.
We like a good death.
Listen, we like a good
Somebody
tragic.
Has to die.
Lucy, exactly. Lucy knows exactly where we went with this. Yes, as soon as they're like, we got to bring in like he's the only one that we can like, you know, trust in these times, and it brings the two of them just like she's pulling his drunken ass down the street. Yes. But I do agree we need like an evil prince who has like something on all of the advisors and things, right? Shall we roll?
Shall we roll for an evil prince?
I do. Let's go back here. Let's go. Oh no, boop, too far. There are some very funny choices on this list. There are some genuinely For some reason, it got really dark outside, and the lighting in here changed so dramatically.
I kind of want the dice to give us another Park Seo-joon roll, so we have like evil twins.
Could be twins, evil twins, the evil twin. Okay.
Oh God.
5. All right. Let's see how funny. Okay, the dice got jokes. The dice got jokes. Okay. All right. All right. Let me do a little bit of updating. Okay. A little reunion in a bizarre way.
That's true. They can make a really funny like side moment just because I love it when shows do that. Like characters that usually don't really interact, but you kind of have to just for a second because everyone knows.
I'm looking for a.
But he does bad.
He does bad really well. Though he has done historical, I'm gonna actually take a non-historical image just because we're having fun here. Okay, select subject. I feel like he would be a really good evil prince.
Also, age-wise, they seem
it works out nicely. And he, of course, has to figure out that these women are these men are all women. Like that's because he's also very smart. Okay, do I do my usual? You know what? I think I do. Give me 1 second. I got chat amongst yourselves. I got a little.
So we will have to come up with, like, truly have to figure out the amnesia thing. Like, who would have it?
I mean, it doesn't have to be a long thing either, right? Like, it can be it could be just a, like, hit over the head, short-term situation, and then, things get righted quickly. But, yeah. It feels like a hit over the head situation because it feels like that's the kind of drama that we've created here.
Or, I mean, we're already doing a lot of medical, so, like, someone could get sick and it causes amnesia or something.
Okay. We have. I just need everyone to know when I upload this is that I am a professional artist.
Graphic design is her passion.
Like graphic design is my passion.
Think like Goo Family book for him. He does have the evil prince vibes, is what she said.
He does. Okay. Upload overlay. Select all files. Overlay 4. Let's go. Just incredible work happening here. Okay. Here we go.
The horns.
Yeah, we got
the heart.
Yeah,
nice.
heart. Beautiful. This beautiful heart that I've drawn because art is my passion. I don't draw with a mouse. All right, I'm working with this mouse here. Right? If I had my tablet, this would be a whole different story. Okay. This, you know what? Okay, so yeah, and like usually amnesia is so easy.
Yes, but we just have to pick who, like what context and stuff.
I do like the idea of like it being, I mean, one of the cross-dressing characters because that's always kind of a goofy moment where, visually you're looking at yourself and going, well, I guess I must be, and then going, I guess I'm not. So there's more to my amnesia than just I can't remember my name.
Or if we take like a really liberal application of what we consider to be amnesia. If we're taking like a real liberal application, you could say like someone who forgets what they did when they were drinking and then slowly has to remember their shame is a really fun, good time, which I think, listen,
check out what you just said.
Yes. So Seo-joon listen, he does have a comedic timing that really works for a lot of these things, even though he is not the main character of this show.
And we've already set up the concept of him being a big drinker and maybe being passed out on time. You know, maybe that was like, he was drunk. We had to escape quickly from this brothel. We, you know, dressed him up as a woman. And when he wakes up in the morning hungover, he's like, what is this? Where am I?
And he doesn't even remember that he's a prince. Like, that's part of the, like, where are we going? Why are we going there? I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
why have to go there?
His buddy, Moon Ga-young's going to be, you know, like, punch him in the face and be like, dude, snap out of it. Right? Like, let's go.
Yeah. So it could be just like an ongoing bit. Is that he forgets everything he ever does when they're drunk, and she always remembers. So, like, and she always has to, like, slap it back into him. It could be, like, a comedic byline.
Yeah.
It could be a comedic thing, but, like, later on, if there's ever a time that he does that again, and Moon Ga-young, like, for some reason is, like, not around, Chae Soo-bin's character takes over and slaps it, like, slaps him around.
Or
Jo Kwon slapping him around.
You know, that feels like a good moment for when the enemies turn to lovers or whatever, where he gives them the slap and then he's like, "Oh,
I'm into this shit."
Listen, like they get a little close, like get a little close after that.
Right?
Yeah, there's nothing I love,
and then it's like you're pulled in too close, and then it's like, oh.
There's nothing I love more than a, like, joke's on you, he's into that plot. You know what I mean? Like, that always makes me laugh. Yeah, like, you know, like when, like when you're watching one where it's like a rich dude and, like, this girl's mean to him, right? And no one's ever been mean to him before, and it's just like, joke's on you, he's into that shit. Like, you know, like, I don't want to bring up, like, this man is the worst mistake of my life, but I think that was the epitome of the joke's on you, he's into that shit plot I've ever seen in my life. It's a J-drama.
We do not necessarily recommend.
Listen, we don't not recommend it. It is amusing in a bizarre sort of way. Whew. Is it good? No.
But low-hanging fruit is like, Boys Over Flowers.
Right,
like,
exactly.
That's definitely what's happening.
Classic example.
Lucy, I'm also thinking of that. It's exactly what my mind immediately jumped to as well. Just chef's kiss.
I don't think that works in a historical context, but that's fine.
We can make it work in a historical context, okay? It's fine. We can do all sorts of stuff. We're just
and
having
watchers,
a good time.
if you don't know what we're talking about, look it up.
You should go.
You
Google,
have to go look it up.
Yeah, the
Abracadabra, Jo Kwon. You will see what we're talking about. Or just 2 p.m. 2 a.m.
2 p.m. 2 a.m. Abracadabra. You'll find it. It's popular. It's known for. It's back when K-pop groups were allowed to have fun. You know, like
the good old days.
The good old days. We do still have to put Noble Idiocy in here, as much as we don't like to. We have to.
I mean,
and I really feel like Moon Ga-young's character would be the noble idiot in this.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And
I feel
gets it from both sides, right? Like she's gonna do the noble idiocy, and Chae Soo-bin and Park Seo-joon are both like, "You suck. We can take care of ourselves. But we don't need that nonsense from you." Like,
I feel like the evil prince has to be involved in some way, and it's like
he comes to her and is like, "Chae Soo-bin, I know that's a woman,
kill her.
And either you poison Park Seo-joon or I kill her or whatever. Reveal that she's been faking being a man, which means she's going to get rolled in a carpet and trampled to death or whatever.
I think it's actually funnier if he realizes Chae Soo-bin's a woman because she's not good at pretending to be a man, but has not realized that Moon Ga-young is a woman. Because I feel like that is the ultimate humor in a tough situation. Because we never want to get too serious. There always has to be something ridiculous.
It can be fake noble idiocy. Here.
Okay.
So he goes and threatens Chae Soo-bin. Okay. Or some echinacea. But Moon Ga-young does figure out about it. And then he has to go, Evil Prince has to go somewhere for like a political reason. Not really far, but far enough that Moon Ga-young's character's like, no, I'm going to take this opportunity to take him out. Like, I'm not messing around. So but she doesn't let either of them know that she's piecing out to go do this because they would not approve of her going and taking him out on her own accord.
You know what would be kind of a nice little bookend to her doing this is if she has to do it disguised as a woman because she's been living as a man so long that actually her dressing as a woman is like she's disguising herself as a woman, which is always like a fun in these sort of things. Like,
and I'm gonna be real. I think her character is kind of more like non-binary lesbian side of things. Like, pretty fluidy. Like, that's just my opinion.
Definitely. Though we're looking at a beautiful non-butch woman right here, but definitely she's got to act butch. You know what I mean? Like, she has embodied being a man. Like, she is. You know. Ooh, we got to spice
like it.
Well, I feel like no one's gonna be shocked Pikachu about Sejong.
Yeah, I feel like it's not gonna be
being a woman. I feel like everyone's gonna be like, yeah, we knew that wasn't. Well, they're always like, there's usually like one dumbass character who is like really into muscle mommies. This is the fun part. Because it was the same in Noctu Flower, wasn't it? Where it was like, there was one guy who actually, like, everyone kind of figured out that wasn't a woman, but there was one dude who really didn't figure out that wasn't a woman. So I feel like there's got to be, like, one guy, like, a real comedic actor, you know, who's just like, this is the woman of his dreams. She's so strong. He loves strong women. And, like, he has to witness, you know, Park Seo-joon doing some feat of strength while dressed as a woman and, like, being like, oh my goodness. Like, you know, like they have him like, they would have him like in like the braid, like not like a married woman. We're talking unmarried, like braid down, turns, like, you know, has like some sort of, you know, it's like maybe beating two guys' heads together, turn the braid with the ribbon and it whips around. And this guy in the bar is like, oh,
you know, he could easily be just like one of the, I can't think, like commander types.
Yeah, like a military magistrate dude.
Magistrate, yeah, like one of the main magistrate guys of the court who has not seen that prince whatsoever, just because the prince has been gone for so long. But like, an age-wise, like pretty similar, but like,
and then you gotta play like, you know, like the traditional, you know, K-drama meme songs, like that, you know. Exactly, like the CBX video where he turns, he's like, and they're all like, oh, yes. But like, you know, but he's got to be doing something like, you know, maybe he's like, there's a bar fight at some point, you know, and he's in the middle of it, and he's fucking smacking people's heads with, you know, stuff, you know, like kicking people. But then this guy's like, this is the woman.
I'm trying to think who all is in his like buddy group, because they have like a group of friends, don't like actor friends. Like him and V. I was trying to remember, like, who all was in that show together? Hwang.
Hwarang, yeah.
Hwarang, like a lot of those. Like,
are you saying Minho? Are you saying Minho should be this guy into muscle mommies? Are you saying Minho? Well, are you saying Minho would like strong men? Shocker. Yeah. We didn't see this coming.
I was actually working up to, what was I thinking? Man, I just totally forgot. But like, there was another one kind of in that group that, anyway, any of those guys would be funny because like they would get a good chuckle. Like,
but like, now that you've mentioned Hwarang, and I'm just thinking of Minho being a clueless muscle mommy appreciator, I'm kind of into it. Absolutely, this is the role he's been dreaming of, and also reunion because he was in that show with Chae Soo-bin as like the male lead. So like, listen, it'll be like a multi.
We're hitting all the
Let me listen. I'm doing it. We're doing it. Let me just add him. See, Minho. Okay, let's see. I
like the idea that you had their Sky of like the noble idiocy being like a fake, and it
a reverse revenge. Like
like I like maybe it's a you know, like how in a heist or something, you always have the double cross, where it's like you think somebody, but really something else.
Now,
really
as far as
turned it
Choi
around.
Soo-bin's character and Park Seo-joon, like they do think she did noble idiocy, like, and they are not happy. Like they are really upset, and you probably have to make the noble idiocy last like a good episode.
It's probably
going to
be like episode 10 or something. End of episode 10, and then it's going to go through 11, and then get revealed at the beginning of 12 and then, or something.
And that's how, when she comes back, you definitely get a really official confession of love from Choi Soo-bin's character after that, because there's a lot of concern there. But yeah, because I feel like there wouldn't, back then you couldn't really just noble idiocy all that much unless you were just gonna like exile yourself or something. Like it really wasn't just totally
you could ghost people. That's for
like
sure. Like,
as far as like in My Dearest, he pulled noble idiocy a lot. He's like, bye,
he's like, bye. I'm peacing out. I'm just hitting the bricks.
But it took a lot of effort. Whereas, like, in modern dramas, it's like you can noble idiocy. You just hop on a plane. Like, it's really not that hard. Bye.
This one's a little trickier. Okay. Here we go. I've got a slight update.
I feel like I feel like in historicals you have to be a character with means in order to pull noble idiocy off. Unless you're a commoner, you just have to start walking and hope that you just don't get found, because there's really not much you can do
there's
about
not
it.
a lot.
You would think it would be easier because like they don't have ways to find people that efficiently.
Well, I mean, you can noble idiocy without leaving too, right? Noble idiocy can just be, I'm not having anything to do with you anymore. We're separate.
We're done.
So,
we're done.
Like you can do that fake breakup, noble idiocy, without having to leave.
Now I will say the reason Choi Soo-bin's character thinks it's noble idiocy is because they definitely had a long, deep conversation about like, but I'm sure you want to go live as a woman and that type of conversation, which left Choi Soo-bin very upset.
Which I feel like Choi Soo-bin in her brain is going, yes, but you live as a man, so like I can live as a woman and we can
live. No one would ever know.
See how this works?
Like we could keep this a secret forever.
Like literally forever.
Literally, like even if we need to like get a kid, we just adopt an orphan and move to a new town. No one would know this is not our child. Like it's not like we have DNA testing at this point in time.
But they have like a long, like heated, emotional conversation about that. As far as like, what do you want? And I feel so conflicted and blah blah blah. And then like, and the very next day is when like Moon Kyung's character puts like the revenge. Like she kind of hears about evil prince is leaving. I like has to go immediately. It doesn't have time to tell anybody, and doesn't even think about. She does not even consider the conversation that they had the night before, which is like deep, heavy conversation.
Because I feel like Moon Kyung and Park Seo-joon have like dumbass energy together. Okay, so like, because if we're going, she's not the stoic type of bodyguard. She's just his buddy, and they're just two dumbasses who are, like, pushed into.
I feel like she's the smart one, but that doesn't necessarily mean much.
She usually holds the singular brain cell. Yes.
Yeah.
They share a brain cell that like, but I feel like he can't be just totally an idiot. He has to be smart at certain things, but like. They switch who has the brain cell depending on the situation. You know what I mean? Like, because like he could be actually like very not people smart, but very like smart in very certain ways. And she's like very military smart, but not people smart. So it's like
he could be quite smart, but because he's been in exile and he's just been drinking his smart away, because there was nothing to do with it. But now I've got opportunity. If I just settle down with the drinking for a little bit, the smart can come back. The brain cells can start.
He could be like scientific smart. You know what I mean? Like they could, how like sometimes in those historical ones, they'll have like fun little asides where it's like, oh, like in Splash Splash Love, where she like invents like an irrigation system or whatever. Like stuff like that. Like just silly smart, you know? They don't care. They still have one. Exactly. They need it for different situations. Like who has the brain, it depending on the situation is who has the brain cell in this moment. Two girls chilling in a Seguk. They might kiss. Who knows? Jokwon and Sojun chilling in a hot tub 5 feet apart. That's all I gotta say. I must say the addition of Minho as dumbass muscle mommy appreciator.
So how early does his character get like introduced?
I feel like his character needs to keep like intersecting with them as they travel, like because he's been sent to find the prince, to like accompany them, you know, like
or he's like a merchant or something who's traveling.
He's gonna be the My Cabbages guy of this show.
Yeah, and he just keeps.
Have you never seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, the TV show? There's this one character who's just a cabbage merchant who just keeps like showing up in like various scenes, like every like 10 episodes or so will show up in a village and something will happen to his cabbage cart, like it'll get destroyed during whatever shenanigans are happening and it'll just be like, my cabbages. It's become like a bit of like everyone's favorite character is the My Cabbages guy. So that it is possible that he could just be each time he's more convinced.
Crossing paths and he's like,
yeah,
all right, I gotta find out who this woman is, but it's always like, and then there's a bar brawl and they have to escape town.
Yeah, like they're, you know, like, or like the evil prince's minions have shown up, and so they're, you know, taken off in the middle of the night, and he's like, I'll find her one of these days. I feel like this is the perfect role for, like, he was born to play this role, because he loves playing comedic characters, and he loves giving men compliments about how sexy they are. So, like, I'm just saying. I love it. And we do this every time.
And the marketing for this would be so cute.
Oh my god. It would be this would be so easy to market. Like, listen.
Also, we would have absolutely no men interested in these women we would have to, because there's too many shenanigans with all the
there's too many other things happening. We don't need Mino was literally born for this role of being this show's My Cabbages.
But there's and all of the advertising is going to be super obvious that it's like this pair and this pair, like it's not this, right? But there's still going to be Koreans with this shocked Pikachu face who are very angry that like I thought this was about Moon Ga-young and Park Seo-joon, and you're like, what part of
this? Listen. From what I hear, the gaydar in some of these conservative areas is very low. It's not functional. But I feel like for Minho's character, the resolution definitely has to be, there has to be some scene, maybe like an epilogue scene in the last episode, where there's just like
a real
the
strong
beefiest, brawniest woman. Like maybe like, you know, like maybe like one of like, you know, like the professional, you know, like weightlifters that they have in that do really well in Korea.
The stunt ladies and stuff.
Yeah, or just like some real beefy, brawny, like cameo role. Yeah. Like shows up in like the epilogue just for a little taste. And is just like, and maybe has like, you know, like where they have like the dip kiss, but it's her dipping him.
Yeah.
Well, maybe at the very end, like there's another situation where all of his merchandise gets messed up or whatever again, and she walks by and she helps him like pick it all up, and then he is just a goner. His
cart almost gets knocked over, and she like rescues it.
Yeah, the cart's about to go, and then she like stop, like, you know, like strong
stops it, and also grabs him,
and it's like, and oh shit,
and then of course,
but we have to find like the beefiest woman in Korea to play, like,
somebody famous, like a
famous athlete or something.
Korean is gonna be like,
oh shit,
oh my god, right?
Like, I know this woman, like, just,
I love it,
just because, like, listen, on like I Live Alone and stuff, there was one episode where they did have like a Olympic weightlifter was one of the people on it. So it's like, you know, there are these people that people know. Like
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that would just be delightful, you know.
Can you imagine they getting that call? You're like just an Olympic weightlifter, and they call you. We have a.
They're like, hey, do you want to?
Do you want to kiss Minho? Okay.
Yeah, you know what? This seems like fun.
Do you want to kiss basic Korean man?
Yeah, the world's most basic Korean man. Just like, every man in Korea looks exactly like this guy. When that happened, I just remember people being like, you know what? If most men in Korea looked like Minho, we wouldn't have a birth problem. But no, I feel like that would be possibly the funniest epilogue to this delightful tale of shenaniganery.
I actually just thought of a funding stream too, like a promotional funding stream, because if it is an Olympian, like if that part's Olympian, you could get like, you know, the sharpshooter lady, this like really cool, you know,
she could be an assassin.
She can be like an assassin or a military gal too. Like, I mean, you can kind of put in like some other like really well-known Olympian people just doing tasks that kind of pertain to like what they're up to. Like if they're wanting some like extra athletics promotion type stuff.
Yeah.
This is so funny. Like,
and Minho would be all about athletics promotion. He'd be like, yes.
Yeah, he'd be like a sports promotion. Just like, I just remember him being shocked, like, to find out that not everyone likes to go to the gym. And it's like, you're best friends with Key. But we've now come to, I think, the hardest part of everything.
Oh no.
Roll4Drama.
But we've talked about titles.
Well, we did have a cute isekai fake title, but that was never intended to be a real title because that's a light novel title. You know what I mean? Like that's a low budget anime title.
It's got real two guys, a girl, and a pizza place kind of vibes to it, but I'm not really sure what the two girls, a guy, and a crazy cross country trip. I don't know.
Something with crossed in it, I think is the
because like if the whole thing is them taking a trip cross country, right? So like you have
it was a good title. Right? What was the isekai?
The isekai title was oh no, I found myself pretending to be a male doctor in a historical world because of like they go on forever. These titles are so long. It's the manhwa version title, but I feel like something like Crossed Blades or Star-Crossed or
Star-Crossed Lovers.
Yeah, like something like that.
Yeah.
I think there was like a really sort of a questionable CW romance sci-fi show called Star-Crossed, if I'm with aliens. Anyway,
I feel that happened.
I feel like that was a show I watched, and it was like one season and didn't get renewed, and it was supposedly about racism.
So long, Irene.
Yeah,
they're so long. Listen, they tell you exactly what you're gonna watch, like what you're about to read. So like, well, there is one that I really enjoy, which is Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill. I like that one. It's one of my favorite modern manga adaptations. It's fun. But no, I like something with crossed. All right, chat, help us out here. This is always the hardest part of these streams. Coming up with a great plot, we do that like nothing. But coming up,
I love how we totally like sidestepped the medical thing. Like, oh, we'll just make some medical issues and make
there'll be medical problems.
She's a doctor. We didn't sidestep it. She's a doctor. She's a doctor. Okay, like
listen, we can't come up with every single episode.
Yeah, she'll be bandaging wounds. Don't worry about it. Like, it's fine.
Oh, I don't know. Cross.
tentative working title. Cross something.
Cross
arrows. That's fun. Because like cross swords would be if this was the BL version. Because then you got a clever little like it's a dick joke. I like crossed arrows. That's fun. Because they were on 2 different trajectories in life before cross-dressing.
You're going all deep with it.
I was going on a metaphorical situation with this title.
Okay.
Double cross because
Just 2 couples. That's right. I like it.
Have 2 cross-dress couple. I like it.
I like it. Double cross. And also like the evil prince is trying to double cross them by killing off his brother.
And then also because like internationally we would be going, oh, does that mean that someone's going to betray somebody? The whole time we would be wondering, and it wouldn't ever happen.
No,
that's very in line with marketing. Like that's very
very much so.
Titles.
Very much so.
You thought you were coming in for the like hardcore like
court
evil court shenanigans, and like all you got was cross-dressing hilarity, and you're like, oh. Okay, I also like this.
Yeah, like, but it's one of those things, like, you could have been enjoying it, and, like, right near the end, you're still, like, bracing for, like, this tragic double cross, like, a betrayal from one of the main characters or something, and it never happens, and you're like, oh. Well, I mean, so, that's like, good, but, like, okay.
When Diane does her noble idiocy, you think it's a double cross, because that's the title of the show, and it's not. It's just
not. This is the Cabbage Patch Crossing. I would listen, that's just us, okay? That's just us coming up with these titles. My cabbages! Like, I don't think we can make Minho a cabbage. I think that would be too on the nose. Too on the nose. I feel like he should be like he makes like women's jewelry or something. Like, it has to be something where he encounters he encounters a lot of women all the time.
Yeah.
Which is why he's just like, there's no woman out there who's caught my eye. Like, will it ever happen?
Oh,
and then it's just
he has dremed of tailoring an outfit for one of like a more built woman.
For a statuesque woman. And then before him, the most beautiful woman he's ever seen.
I love it.
Listen, everyone likes different things. You know?
Yeah.
We don't judge. We don't judge here. We're a non-judgmental podcast here. But I think we've done it yet again. Yet again.
I'm really sad that this doesn't exist. I would watch the heck out of this.
Fun. Oh my gosh!
It would be one of those like you're waiting each week. Like it would be the fun one that you would keep returning to.
Let's go. Is it?
And there would be cliffhangers too. They would purposefully do cliffhangers for sure.
Oh, as always.
But I feel like fun cliffhangers, you know, like how they used to on a lot of it would be something like the 2 of them like jumping out a window and like and then it a real cliffhanger and you're like, what will happen? And they'll land in the back of a hay truck or something. They'll just go, like it's just whatever.
You know what? There really hasn't been enough fun sagooks in a while. Like I feel like we really need a fun sagook again. You know?
Right.
Like, and it's been a while.
I mean, a fun lesbian cross-dressing side? Okay.
Well, listen, I don't think there really has been one yet, but I feel like this is a market that we could be filling here. You know what I mean? Like,
and also because they would probably want to try like BL side first. Like, no, just go with G. Like, just do it.
No, see, that's why you've got the Minho Jo Kwon So June situation. It's like we got a little bit of like humorous BL for your BL people, but like then you've got the real story is happening with some lesbians.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. And this would totally have to be like on an OTT service.
Like, this wasn't the OTT option. This would definitely be on like Wave. You know what I mean? Like this would be on TVing. This wouldn't be on TV.
Because like Netflix could do it, but they wouldn't because it's too light and funny. They would want the lesbians to be like dead or something at the end. Like it would have to be a lot darker. I feel like
I feel like
designing cross-dresser.
Yeah, I feel like TVing would really, because TVing was also Queen Wu, which did also have lesbians in it.
right? Like JTBC, this is a JTBC drama. They
The
just, I'm not sure they're strong enough for a GL.
No, not
you know,
quite.
Yet. So
One of these days. This would have been perfect. Remember when OCN was trying to like make not just crime stuff before
and they had a couple of romances and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
this would have been like
Mhm.
a good midpoint for OCN trying to try something new.
Mhm.
R.I.P. OCN.
Rip.
Mhm.
I'm not Catholic. I don't know why I always do that. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
We'll be back next month with episode 20.
Oh my gosh.
Episode 20 of Roll4Drama. We've almost been doing this for 2 years, guys.
And I mean, longer in a general sense. We've always
That's
been
true. We've
making
been
up
doing
nonsense.
this for like.
Hopefully we'll be 4 Noonas strong next month.
Yes.
That'd be fun.
It's like a weird time for people's scheduling this.
Yeah, and it's like also now that it's warmer weather often, or it will be, like we know that Saturdays at like noon for me, 1 for we know that this isn't an easy time for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But like we have we can't keep moving it.
Yeah,
like,
we unfortunately have to pick a time that's good for us. We have to be here,
Yeah,
we'll be back next month with another one. We'll have an episode on Monday as per usual. And listen.
Yeah.
This is just the creative process in a live stream format. You know what I mean? Like, and we'll just be doing our regular thing, so hang out with us. Please go follow us on Blue Sky or Instagram, whichever you use, because that's where we put updates to everything.
And here at YouTube.
And here on YouTube. Yes. I need like and subscribe, as the ticker says, because apparently it's a legal obligation for anyone making content on YouTube that they have to remind people to do that. And also, like, if you have a friend who would like this sort of thing, tell them to come hang out with us.
Yeah.
Because I think most of our listeners, though I will be honest, like our YouTube listeners, very small community. We love y'all. Most of our listeners are on like Apple Podcasts, which is like, it is what it is. But we love all y'all. So thank you for spending time with us and coming out. Give you a little. Anyway, we'll see you next time. And we hope you have a great day. And stay frosty, my dudes. And go enjoy some Asian content. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.